There's a saying, you don't want others to know, don't do it. Once something is done, it will eventually be discovered. In life, the what-ifs became reality and everyone understood the consequences. Evil would be eliminated. The perpetrator in today's case, when caught, expressed regret, repeatedly mentioning the word if. Let's watch the video to uncover the story behind this case. Around 8 a.m. on October 14, 2018, in Yiting Town, Yiwu City, Zhejiang Province, light rain began to fall. A farmer named Xiao Zhu was fishing by the riverbank. Not having a raincoat, he quickly looked for shelter. He saw a large tree with a wide canopy not far away and ran to sit underneath it. While taking cover, Xiao Zhu noticed an abandoned water tank nearby. The lid of the tank wasn't properly sealed, so he went over to adjust it, worried that the rainwater might cause mosquito breeding grounds. While bending down to push the stones back into place, Xiao Zhu accidentally dropped a banknote from his pocket. Though it wasn't a large amount, regretted losing it and looked for a way to retrieve it. As he leaned further, he noticed a pair of women's slippers and some other indistinct object. Despite the mosquitoes buzzing around, his curiosity got the better of him. Seeing that the slippers were still quite new, he thought his wife might find them useful, so he used a stick to fish them out. However, moments later, in addition to the slippers, he also discovered some strange objects. Alarmed, Xiao Zhu ran to call another man who was also fishing nearby. After observing the objects, the two realized they resembled human bones and decided to call the police. Upon hearing the report, the Yiwu City Police Station dispatched 2 officers to the scene and instructed the 2 fishermen to guard the area, ensuring the water tank remained undisturbed. About 10 minutes later, the 2 officers arrived. By the time the police reached the scene, a crowd had already gathered. Local residents stated that the water tank had been abandoned for a long time, and there were many similar tanks scattered around the field. The tank was made of cement, square in shape, each side about 1 meter, and around 3 meters deep, originally used for irrigation. After a preliminary look, the officer questioned how a young man had noticed the body. Given that people normally wouldn't pay attention to what's inside, and that the tank was covered by 2 concrete slabs. Xiao Zhu quickly recounted what had happened. The investigation team decided to go down into the tank to recover the objects inside. However, the tank had been abandoned for many years, was both deep and narrow, with a thick layer of mud at the bottom, and about 30 centimeters of water. The police sent a person down with a scoop and a bucket to remove the water. Once the water was drained, they began retrieving the bones and items in the same position and order as found in the tank. This process took 2 full days. A forensic team was also brought in to examine the remains. News of the human skeleton found in the water tank quickly caught the attention of many. After piecing together the bones, the forensic team determined that the remains belonged to a woman aged 22 to 25, slim, about 1.5 meters tall. The estimated time of death was between 7 to 10 years ago. There were several cracks and fractures on the skull, indicating that the cause of death was multiple blows to the head with a hard object, ruling out suicide. Initially, the body was identified as part of a murder and disposal case. During recovery, the body parts were displaced. For example, leg bones were found above the skull. Police speculated that the bones had been moved by water currents, causing them to be disordered. If this assumption was correct, it was possible that the water tank continued to be used normally for some time after the body had been left there. The victim's personal effects included a short-sleeved t-shirt, jeans, a belt, and high-heeled slippers. The clothes had deteriorated from prolonged water exposure, but the slippers were still relatively intact. Women who owned this style of slippers about 10 years ago were considered fashionable and likely came from a more affluent background. The police deduced that the victim belonged to this group. The investigation team then searched the area, hoping to find something that could identify the victim, but to no avail. As no identifying evidence was found, the Yiwu police took the remains back to the station for a more detailed investigation. To gather more information, the police decided to investigate the slippers. Brown high-heeled slippers with a closed heel, made of good quality leather, about 7 centimeters high. After a few days, the police located the manufacturing factory. The factory owner confirmed that this style of slipper had been discontinued 3 years earlier, but was popular from 2010 to 2015. Although the style was fairly common in the market, it was currently the only clue. Based on the minimal wear on the heel, it was clear the slippers had not been worn frequently. Since the water tank was located in a secluded area, the police considered it unlikely that someone from another place had disposed of the body here. Therefore, the investigation team decided to gather information from the local resident. More than a day after the body was discovered, a middle-aged woman named Kui Shu-kin came to the police station to report. She stated that her niece, Shea Limei, had been missing for 7 years. Kui Shu-kin wanted to know if the body found could be her niece. According to her, Mai went missing when she was 20 years old and was a second-year student at Nanjing University in Jiangsu Province. In the summer of 2011, Shea Limei returned to visit her grandparents, living in Yiting Town, Yiwu City, less than 2 kilometers from where the body was found. On the evening of July 18 that year, Mai mentioned meeting an old elementary school friend and then disappeared without a trace. Comparing the information provided by Kui Shu-kun, the police noted similarities in the number of years, age, and height. They then took Kui Shu-kun to view the victim's belongings, covered from the tank. The victim's clothes were deteriorated, but Kui Shu-kun recognized the brown high-heeled slippers as very familiar, recalling that her niece had a similar pair. A photo taken with her grandparents in the summer of 2011, shortly before Shea Limei's disappearance, showed Mai wearing similar slippers. To verify, the police decided to conduct a DNA analysis. However, Kui Shu-kun revealed that Shea Limei was not her biological niece, but her adopted daughter. This complicated the investigation, as they could not use DNA to identify the victim. The police decided to wait a few more days to check information on other missing persons matching the timeline. Meanwhile, they received a report from Kui Shu-kun. The family had received a message from an unknown number, claiming to be Shea Limei, stating she was alive and well, and hoping the family would stop searching. After receiving this message, the family was initially overjoyed, believing that Mai was alive, but when they tried to call the number back, they couldn't get through. They suspected something was amiss and decided to report it. Analyzing the situation, police shared the same suspicions as Kui Shu-kun. Since 2011, so much time had passed. If Shea Limei were still alive, why had she never contacted her family? Why did she only send a sudden message after the female remains were found in the water tank? Based on their reasoning, the police believed that this was highly suspicious. It was likely that the person texting the family was not Mai, but someone impersonating her. Upon investigating the phone number, the police identified the owner as Zhou Licheng, 29 years old, from Yiting Town, Yiwu City, Zhejiang Province. The investigation team went to his house to gather information. Meanwhile, the police also began to look into the circumstances surrounding Shea Limei's disappearance many years earlier. Kui Shu-kun revealed that the time Mai left the house was around 7 p.m. on July 18, 2011. At that time, the family was busy preparing for a party the next day and didn't pay much attention. It wasn't until around 11 p.m. that they realized Mai hadn't returned, prompting them to start searching. Since Limei's suitcase and clothes were still at home, the family ruled out the possibility that she had returned to her home in Jiangsu Province. The day after Mai's disappearance, she was still missing, so the family reported it to the police. The police accepted the case and searched for a long time, but ultimately, Mai's whereabouts remained a mystery. After reviewing records, the Yiwu police confirmed a missing person report for Shea Limei at that time. According to the files, on the day she went missing, Shea Limei had told her family she was going to visit an old friend who lived nearby. However, during the investigation that year, the police confirmed that she had no such friend. The investigation team visited the home of Zhou Licheng and gathered information from his neighbors. According to them, Zhou Licheng left his home to live elsewhere in the summer of 2011, leaving only his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Zhou, who had been living in Yiwu City for many years. Since 2011, Zhou Licheng had not returned to his hometown, and his parents also had no contact with him during this period. It wasn't until 2 years ago that his parents revealed they had reconnected with him and had moved to live in Shanghai. Since then, their house in the hometown had been abandoned. From the family of Xia Limei, the police learned that before her disappearance, Xia Limei had mentioned she was dating a young man from Yiwu. However, her family knew little about him. They only knew that they met on social media, but did not know his name or specific address. After compiling the clues, the police suspected that Xia Limei's disappearance might be related to the phone subscriber named Zhou Licheng. Following the investigative team's logic, they believed that Zhou might be the boyfriend from Yiwu whom Xia Limei had mentioned. If this were true, it would suggest that Zhou was hiding something suspicious. In other words, there was a high possibility that the victim found in the water tank was Xia Limei. To confirm this theory, the police in Yiwu City decided to track down Zhou Licheng. After searching residency information in Shanghai, police finally found Zhou Licheng's current address. When the police arrived, Zhou Jianhuan, Zhou's father, reported that his son had left with a suitcase the previous evening, saying he would be away from Shanghai for a while to start a new life elsewhere. But he did not specify where he was going. Zhou Licheng's sudden departure raised the police's suspicions, prompting them to launch a search for him. While gathering information from Zhou Jianhuan, the police noticed something unusual. When answering their questions, Mr. Huan appeared worried and hesitant. When the investigation team requested to inspect Zhou Licheng's room, Mr. Huan began to tremble. Upon inspection, the police found that Zhou Licheng's belongings, suitcase, and phone were still in the house. Faced with police inquiries, Zhou Jianhuan could not provide answers. Finally, Huan confessed that his son had not gone anywhere but was hiding nearby. Police quickly apprehended Zhou Licheng. Upon his arrest, Zhou Licheng tearfully begged for forgiveness. The investigation team, confident that their suspicions were correct, was surprised when they heard Zhou Licheng's statement. Zhou Licheng admitted to the police that he had been in a relationship with a girl named Xia Limei. They met through social media. Due to the distance between them, Zhou was in Yiwu, Zhejiang, and Xia Limei was living and studying in Jiangsu. They had few opportunities to meet in person, so they had not publicly disclosed their relationship. In the summer of 2011, Xia Limei visited her grandparents' house in Yiding Town, Yiwu City, Zhejiang Province. Since Zhou's house was not far from her grandparents, they saw this as a good opportunity to meet. On the evening of July 18, 2011, as arranged, Xia Limei and Zhou met at a park. However, Zhou intentionally took Xia Limei to a secluded place to engage in sexual activity. Initially, Xia Limei did not object, but upon arriving, she resisted. Unable to control himself, Zhou forcibly raped his girlfriend. During the struggle, Xia Limei accidentally fell, hit her head on a rock, and died. This incident left Zhou Licheng panicking. Not knowing what to do, he called his father, Zhou Jianhuan, for help. After a discussion, they decided to bury the body in a deserted area with a shovel late that night. Cover up the truth. Since that day, Zhou Licheng lived in constant fear and decided to leave his hometown for Shanghai. His parents moved away a few years later. Occasionally, Zhou would secretly visit his hometown to see if the body had been discovered. Coincidentally, on his return trip this time, he overheard that a female body, murdered years ago, had been discovered in Yiwu City, but her identity was still unknown, which terrified him. As soon as he arrived, Zhou hurriedly returned to Shanghai. In his panic, Zhou used his phone to send messages to Xia Limei's relatives, pretending she was still alive to prevent them from identifying the body. Zhou had Xia Limei's relatives' contact numbers because he still kept her mobile phone to this day. Zhou Licheng was unaware that Xia Limei was adopted and unaware of her true identity. After learning the full truth, Zhou regretted his hasty action, realizing he had acted without knowing the specific information about where the body was found, leading to his capture. Although the female body found in the water tank remains unidentified, the Yiwu police unintentionally uncovered another serious murder case that had been hidden for years. As this case was not initially part of the investigation, police mobilized additional forces to handle Xia Limei's case. At present, nearly 3 days have passed, but the body in the water tank has yet to be identified, putting enormous pressure on the Yiwu investigation team. To expedite the investigation, police organized searches for missing persons throughout the city, expanded to neighboring areas. After reviewing all missing person cases from several nearby counties with corresponding height and age during the summer years ago, Yiwu police finally found a suitable match. The missing person was a woman named Xia Feng from Yiding Town. Neighbors reported that Xia Feng went missing on the evening of September 3, 2010. However, Feng's husband, Su Xiao, only thought that she had left home. But when shown a photo by the police, he confirmed that the clothes and sandals matched what his wife was wearing when she went missing. DNA analysis confirmed that the victim was indeed Xia Feng. Su Xiao stated that he and his wife were from Jiangxi and had been working and living temporarily in Yiwu City for many years. Xia Feng worked in a nearby candy factory, and Su Xiao was 10 years older than her. He deeply loved and cared for his wife. Neighbors confirmed that Su Xiao's affection for his wife was sincere. Su Xiao worked multiple jobs to improve their family's finances and buy Xia Feng the things she liked. Despite this, neighbors noted that their relationship was not ideal. The problem stemmed from Xia Feng's dissatisfaction. Despite Su Xiao's efforts to pamper and care for her, Xia Feng was unsatisfied with the marriage, likely due to the age gap. She often complained to neighbors that her older husband was physically weak and could not meet her needs. According to neighbors, a few years into their marriage, Su Xiao discovered that his wife was having an affair with a young man from their hometown. Around that time, Xia Feng suddenly started wearing makeup before going out and dressing more elaborately. Noticing this, Su Xiao began to pay more attention. Although he was furious about being betrayed, Su Xiao tried to reconcile and keep their family together. The sake of their young daughter, was just over a year old. Xia Feng later expressed regret and swore to end her affair. Although Xia Feng gradually changed, arguments between the couple did not entirely cease. Specifically, on the early morning of the day Xia Feng was reported missing, the couple had a dispute. A neighbor overheard they were arguing about Xia Feng secretly seeing her lover again. During his testimony, Suo Xiao did not mention the above issue, which made the police very suspicious. Later, through investigation, the police discovered that at the time Xia Feng was reported missing, the local police had not recorded any missing person report. The fact that his wife had suddenly disappeared and Suo Xiao did not inform the police raised suspicions. He was involved in the case. However, neighbors revealed that for many years, they had seen Suo Xiao sitting and crying alone because he missed his wife. Whenever he got drunk, Suo Xiao would often mention Xia Feng. He was unsure whether she had encountered an accident or had left him and their son for a lover. Nevertheless, Suo Xiao's emotions were deemed quite genuine. Over the years, he resolutely refused to remarry, despite his family's advice. Therefore, none of the people around him believed that Suo Xiao would be cruel enough to harm his wife. According to Suo Xiao's account, on the afternoon of September 3, 2010, Xia Feng called him after work. She said she would go dancing at the square, told him to have dinner first, not to wait up, and that he should go to bed. If it got too late, Feng would stay overnight at a friend's place. Suo Xiao, who was already upset about his wife's secretive behavior, let her do as she pleased. However, since that evening, he never saw his wife return. Suo Xiao did not report to the police because he thought his wife had left him and their son for her lover. Many years passed, and their child grew up, but Xia Feng never returned home, making Suo Xiao suspicious. Even so, he still did not report to the police. Knowing that Xia Feng had a mobile phone, the police asked the telecommunications department to check the call history. The results showed that on the evening of September 3, 2010, Xia Feng indeed called her husband. Right before this call, Feng received a call from someone named Zhang Yi. When asked by the police if he knew Zhang Yi, Suo Xiao immediately recognized him as his rival. This time, Suo Xiao couldn't contain his emotions. He cried, realizing that his suspicions were correct. Suo Xiao told the police that after his wife disappeared, he also suspected that Zhang Yi was involved. He even secretly watched Zhang Yi at the candy factory where he worked. Seeing Zhang Yi going about his job normally, laughing and chatting with his colleagues without showing any fear, Suo Xiao dismissed his suspicion. During this period, Suo Xiao repeatedly called Xie Fang, but although the phone rang, no one answered. Thus, before the police approached him, Suo Xiao still believed that his wife had simply left home and was somewhere with a new lover. That's why he didn't report his wife's disappearance to the police. Although Zhang Yi's calm behavior did not prove his innocence, the investigation team decided to look for him. Not long after, they found Zhang Yi. Contrary to their expectations, Zhang Yi remained calm when he saw the police, showing no intention of running away. Instead, he lowered his head and confessed everything. Zhang Yi confessed that he lost his father when he was young and lived with his mother. Due to financial hardship, he only completed primary school. After dropping out, Zhang Yi helped his mother with housework every day. As he grew older, he felt that poverty was a disadvantage, so he was determined to work hard to change his fate. Zhang Yi started working as a laborer at a young age. His mother, worried about his lack of experience and fearing he might be deceived, entrusted him to a relative, Xi Fang. At that time, Xi Fang was married with a child. Through her introduction, Zhang Yi also went to work at the candy factory in Yiwu, where Xi Fang worked. Whenever Yi faced difficulties, Fang was always there to help. Zhang Yi always appreciated Fang's help. Xi Fang also cherished Zhang Yi, but in a different way. She once confided in him that her rustic and unattractive husband could never satisfy her. Xi Fang had wanted a divorce for a long time, endured her marriage because Suo Xiao fulfilled her material needs. Xi Fang relied on her husband for a comfortable life, but needed another man to meet her emotional needs. One day, Xi Fang confessed her feelings to Zhang Yi and hoped that he could fulfill her desires. Initially, Zhang Yi was reluctant, but Fang promised to provide him with part of her husband's salary. Ultimately, Zhang Yi agreed to become Xi Fang's lover. However, their illicit relationship did not last long before being discovered by Fang's husband, Suo Xiao. He repeatedly confronted Yi, even physically assaulting him for being involved with his wife. Recognizing his wrongdoing, Zhang Yi did not dare to retaliate. After careful consideration, he proposed ending the affair. Xi Fang returned to her family, and Zhang Yi went back to his hometown in Jiangxi to marry and have children. The couple lived in poverty, and their difficulties only worsened after having a child. Zhang Yi decided to leave farming to work elsewhere. Having no experience outside Yiwu, he returned to his old job at the candy factory. Upon his return, he and Fang met again. Separated from his wife, Zhang Yi felt lonely, while Xie Fang's flirtatious advances quickly rekindled their old relationship. This time, Xi Fang suggested they run away together. Shocked by Fang's proposal, Yi firmly refused. Disappointed, Fang tried to persuade him. On the evening of September 3, 2010, Zhang Yi called Xie Fang, asking her to meet him in a field. She agreed, and the two quickly engaged in sexual activity. During this encounter, Fang once again proposed running away together. Zhang Yi refused. Furious, Xi Fang insulted him, calling him a coward, and threatened to harm Yi's wife. Although he was with his lover, Zhang Yi loved his wife dearly. Hearing Fang's threats to harm his wife, Yi lost control and struck Fang with a rock, killing her. After she died, he disposed of her body in a nearby water tank and planned to leave Yiwu immediately. However, Zhang Yi realized that if Fang's husband discovered her disappearance, he would search for her and possibly involve the police. Fearing suspicion if he fled too soon, Zhang Yi acted calm, working and interacting normally during the day, while trembling with fear at night. During this time, he frequently had nightmares but tried to reassure himself. When the case of Xie Fang's disappearance quieted down, Zhang Yi quit his job and returned home. For the next 8 years, he lived in guilt, often considering turning himself in, but never daring to. It wasn't until the police confronted him that Zhang Yi finally felt relieved, calmly accepting his punishment. In the interrogation room, John Yi expressed his deepest concern. How his wife and child would react once the truth was revealed. He said, "If I had known it would end like this, I would have stayed away from her." John Yi lowered his head to the floor, sobbing as he spoke. This case began with an affair and ended in tragedy. Some people feel sorry for the victim, while others do not. What are your thoughts on this? Please leave a comment below. Thank you for staying with us today. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Unmasked to hear about true criminal cases in the world.